celeb and sensational trials in which I have figured, but rather to those incidents which have given room for those faculties of deduction and logical synthesis, which I have made my special province.
Kind of you to say so, Holmes.
You have erred, perhaps.
Much play with plots. Good morning to you,
Good morning
Jeremy.
to you.
Now, well, I suppose with the current health campaigns and so on, should we be low-key on this title?
No,
Pipe Smoker of the Year?
I think think of it as incense rather than nicotine. I mean, also it does coat your lungs in a very gentle way. And, you know, with all these frightening flus going about, maybe it helps you. I haven't had flu, everyone else has.
You think it insulates you?
I think so, in a way. Pickles you.
You mentioned incense, actually. Sherlock. There was a dark side to Sherlock, and one of the things... Was it opium that Sherlock Holmes actually...
Cocaine.
Cocaine.
And opium.
And opium.
Well, then it was like snuff.
Yes.
You know, to a degree. And there were opium dens all over London.
Yeah. Now, you've got... And I know that if you get the details wrong, you get slaughtered, don't you?
I brought these because I haven't got the one I'm being given because I'm not allowed to see that till lunchtime. I'm told that's very special because I was robbed when I was doing, I think, The Greek Interpreter, and we had some VIPs around, and they stole my pipe. Yeah. I think it was either the Young Conservatives or the Royal Ballet. I bet it was the Young Conservatives. Anyway, it was I think I'm getting something like that, which has an amber stem. This is the one that he smoked. This is all in the books, in the couple of eaches. That's a lovely pipe, and you can gesture with it.
Now, he used that when he was relaxing? Or?
In his disputatious moods.
Yes, when he's
arguing.
And
this was in his meditative moods, just like Popeye.
Yes. That's great, isn't
and
it?
And that held there, it gets very hard, you hold it by the base.
And we were talking about getting the details right. If you get the detail wrong, absolute mayhem breaks loose, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, I'm getting about 3,000 letters a week, and many of them are saying, listen, you left out this or you left out that. And that's really exacting.
There could be 6,000 letters this week saying...
Why am I wearing earrings?
Not wearing earrings.
Well, I tell you exactly why. I found it on Clapham Common, which is near where I live, and I found it just before Christmas, and I thought that must be for me. It's my Christmas present from somewhere.
So anybody watching who's lost a ring on Clapham Common...
I'm going to lose it again.
Now being worn by Sherlock Holmes.
That's right.
There was a time, and I know in no sense are you worried about being so linked with Sherlock Holmes. You're actually proud of it.
Well, I tell you, this business is tough, and... I mean, my profession, I think I better call it profession, while I can. And I think that it's to do with, if you're going to make a success, for God's sake, don't be ashamed of it.
But there was a time, wasn't there, Jeremy, when the character is such a fascinating, it's got so many dark sides to him, that you yourself went to the very edge of sanity, didn't you, in playing him?
Yes, I don't find him easy still. I have a nodding acquaintance. I've almost met him now, but I really resist him. I saw him on the other side of the street when I started to work on him.
Yes.
And I thought I wouldn't cross the street to meet him. He's very dark, damaged penguin, I call him, or the black beetle. But we have so many children coming to the play, which we're doing at Wyndham's now. And I never thought children would come. I didn't think children ever read it or even thought about Sherlock Holmes. But they're coming and they think of him as kind of Batman or Superman. I don't understand it.
Yes.
So I'm having to really rethink. I mean, I've been so subjected to him, Mike, that I'm having to rethink him myself now, and I see him less threatening, and I'm not frightened of him anymore. And I was, and you're right, I was ill, of course.
How much has it invaded your life? Because there's such enormous interest. There are all these Sherlock Holmes fan clubs and so on. And you must be recognised wherever you go, and people want you to be him.
I have to be honest, I love it. They don't really. They want Jeremy, and that's the great relief. And I think that's, funnily enough, to do with something very beautiful in this country. I think people have compassion, actually. And I think that because I've been ill, people are very aware that I've had a battle. And I think they're kind to me. They really are. People on buses are kind to me. And I walk among the blessed.
Yes.
You say that you've been ill. Wouldn't that really make you want to give up this whole smoking lark? Or are you not really one of these health fiends?
The thing is that it's getting back on the bicycle. And in 1986, when I was ill, I got back on the bicycle in 87. And that was to get myself through it. Now we have the play, which is an enormous success. And we're taking it to the States, and we're taking it to China, and we're taking it to Japan, Australia. And we've got 6 more films to make. The series starts again in April, which I'm thrilled about. And we're going to do 6 more, apparently. No, let's just get on and enjoy it.
Have you ever come across in your own life a sort of a misdeed or a minor villainy, and you found yourself actually thinking precisely the way Sherlock would think? Has it ever...
No, I tell you what is so extraordinary. I'm so far away from him.
Yes.
And that's why I think I mean, acting is not like being a sponge, or at least I think it is. You take yourself, you learn, do all your research on the part, like, say, Sherlock Holmes. You then drain the liquid of yourself out, and you draw the liquid into the character you're playing. Now, the only trouble about Sherlock that he's fairly smarting. It stings a bit, because he's a genius, and no one is. He's on the darker side of the moon. He's also compulsive, and I find him the hardest part. It's harder than Hamlet, it's harder than Macbeth. This is the hardest part I've ever played. But now having got on top of him, I'm going to enjoy him.
Well, that's great. Good to meet you, Jeremy. And as Sherlock would say, you know, he senses music in the air. He senses music in it, and that's what we've got coming up right now, because Sherlock